Hi 8th grade, I'm going to make you a quick video on how you proceed on with your radial name design. So here I have my designs. I only have 4, there should be 5, but this is for demo purposes only. I'm going to pick my favorite. So that one is a no, because I'm just going to get a circle and a heart, and then all this stuff will stay the same. So I want a design that goes from one side to the other. And I think I'm going to pick this squiggly one here. So the next thing you want to do is get your tracing paper. So you guys should all have tracing paper. If for some reason you don't, I will leave some on my desk for the sub. So you're going to trace your piece of pie that you made. Hopefully you guys already have this done so you don't have to wash off all your scissors. If you didn't do this and you do need to use scissors, just put them in the dirty pen bag and I'll wash them when I get back. You really do need to cut this out. So you're not using the pencil marks for any transferring other than just, you know, knowing where to cut it out. Okay, so I've got my piece of pie. I'm going to go ahead and trace my favorite one. And you want to make sure your paper doesn't move on you. So you are using your ebony pencil that you have hopefully in your drawer. If for some reason you do not have your ebony pencil, just use your number 2 pencil and make sure your lines are bold and dark. And you want it as accurate as you can get it. Okay. So I don't need that anymore. There's my piece of pie. I want to hang on to this until I'm all done with the project, because I may need it even after I've gotten it all transferred. So you're going to determine which is the front side. So I have 2 sides of this tracing paper right now. This is the side with the graphite, and that's the back side. So you want the side with the graphite touching your design. Now this might not match up exactly. You're just going to have to do the best you can. Without having this move too much, I'm going to trace over the lines I just made right onto my circle. Now if you do not trace over the lines you just made, if you're kind of just being sloppy about it and not catching the lines, the way this transfers is the direct pressure. See, that probably isn't going to transfer right there. So I may have to either go over it, or when I pull this up, I'll have to see if I need to just draw any lines in. And if it doesn't match up, or if lines don't transfer the greatest, but you can kind of see where you should have drawn them, you can just draw them in carefully. Okay, so I'm going to pull that up, and that transferred pretty decently. So now I always go counterclockwise, but I guess it really doesn't matter which way you go. Maybe I'll go clockwise. Well, in any case, you can see how this is going to look. So when I transfer this, these have to touch. So that's going to, if it doesn't match up like that, then you haven't transferred it in the right direction. So if it ended up looking like this and nothing matched, I would know that, oh, I wasn't supposed to flip it that way, I'm supposed to flip it this way. So those are going to touch. And you just go ahead and this is going to get really messy, and it's going to be difficult to see where you already traced because it already has graphite all over it. The first tracing was pretty easy because you already knew where you traced since it was the first tracing. Your hands are probably going to be covered in graphite. It's okay, that's actually perfectly normal for this project. The key is to make sure you're going over those lines as accurately as you can. So I can see I missed a little bit right there. And I think I got everything. Okay, then I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Now this might start to get away from you, as in it's not matching up well. Just do the best you can, and you might have to make up some lines to make it fit, and that's okay. When this is all traced and colored in, no one is really going to notice if it's a little bit off. I mean, if it's super off, like you did the wrong side and it's not matching up at all, that will be noticeable. And you want to fix that. See, this is kind of going off the edge. I'm just going to keep on going. And then I go ahead and go all the way around with this. I think I'm just going to bring it back in just a little and then make up those lines so it matches. So, I mean, depending on what your design is, this might take you a while. So I'm going to pretend I went all the way around with that. The next thing you're going to do is actually outline with a Sharpie. Okay, sorry about that. I realized I left my Sharpies across the room. So we have the thin Sharpie and the thick Sharpie. You are going to take the thick Sharpie and you are going to emphasize areas that are important. And they have to be the same areas all the way around. So I'm pretending that I have done this whole circle. I'm not going to demo that whole thing on the video. But go through and decide which areas you want your viewer to really focus in on. The thing with emphasizing things, if you emphasize everything, like if you make dark bold lines on everything, you haven't emphasized anything because it will all look the same. So you just got to pick a few key elements that you think are important. So we're going to say I went around and did all that. I'm not going to do all that. Then once I got all the same areas emphasized, then I take my skinny Sharpie and go over the rest. So I'm going to leave these Sharpies on my desk, and you can take one, but when you're done, I would like you to please put this Sharpie, well actually you guys are the only ones using these, so you can put them in your drawer, and then when you're completely done, then we'll put them in the Jeremy marker bag. So I didn't do a great job there, but anywho, you can see how this is going to go. I don't imagine that anybody is going to be finished with the whole project, as in transferring and then tracing before I get back. So this is where I'm going to stop. If you have any questions, Mrs. Barish might be able to answer those for you, but this is what we're doing today. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!